South Korea is located in Northeast Asia and comprises the southern half of the Korean peninsula, which juts out to the Pacific Ocean from China and far southeastern Russia. The capital of South Korea is Seoul, and it is one of the most populous, economic developed countries in the world. So for a little bit of geography, the northern edge borders the 38th parallel, or the demilitarized zone, often simply referred to as the DMZ. It's a no man's land separating it from North Korea. The west coast borders the Yellow Sea, locally known as the West Sea, with its extensive tidal mudflats, critical to migrant shorebirds and waders. The southern coast borders the Korean Strait, locally referred to as the South Sea, and includes several islands, including the main one, Jeju, which is roughly halfway between the mainland and Japan's Kyushu and Honshu Islands to the south and southeast. Finally, the east coast borders the East Sea, known internationally largely as the Sea of Japan, where the continental shelf comes closest to land and so is location of the best pelagic trips generally. The Korean peninsula's topography is diverse, with plains in the south and west, while the north and east are largely mountainous. Mount Paektu, reaching 2,744 meters and forming the border with China, is the highest peak in North Korea and the peninsula as a whole. But along the eastern coast, you'll find a mountain range running from northeast to southwest, featuring noble peaks, mainly Mount Kumgang, just over the border in Gangwon province, Mount Sorak, most popular in late fall for the autumn foliage, Mount Taebaek and Mount Sobek, and Mount Jiri has the highest peak in mainland South Korea. The highest peak actually is Mount Halla on the volcanic island of Jeju, just shy of 2 kilometers above sea level. Well, that's enough for geography. Let's move on to the birds. According to the most recent checklist put together by Birds Korea, there are about 300 regularly occurring species. But when you include rare species and vagrants, that number doubles. And so this is one of the most exciting reasons to come to Korea for birding. New species are still being added on an annual basis. There are so many reasons to come to South Korea, even if one's only interest is birdwatching. But for now, I'll highlight 3 fantastic birdwatching experiences. Number 1, for an extensive bird checklist, visit in the winter months, December through March, when you can enjoy an East Coast pelagic, observing several crane species near the DMZ, similar to an experience in Hokkaido, Japan, and witness the largest wintering population of Baikal teal in the quiet bays along the central western coastline and adjacent rice paddies, along with tens of thousands of bean and greater white-fronted geese. Number 2, a visit in late April or May should include an excursion to one of the West Coast islets, such as Ochongdo or Socheongdo, and enjoy the spring migration spectacle. When the weather is right for a fallout, some days over 70 species can be found as birds tired from crossing the Yellow Sea land to rest and refuel on the first sight of green they see, mostly comprising land birds ranging from exotic thrushes, pipits, and colorful buntings to old world flycatchers and frustrating but fun Phyloscopus and other old world warblers. Number 3, last but certainly not least, a visit from August through October along the western coast, the mudflats and adjacent wetlands. It's prime time to witness one of the largest concentration of shorebirds in the world, as thousands, if not tens of thousands, of some 20 species can be found. It can feel like searching for a needle in a haystack, but South Korea at this time of year is one of the best places in the world for a chance to find the critically endangered spoon-billed sandpiper or endangered Nordman's greenshank. There are so many species seen easier here than anywhere else in the world. Due to lack of endemic species, though, Korea has long been off most tour companies' radar. But hopefully I've started to convince you that there's no shortage of avian spectacles in this land of BTS and kimchi. In the next episode, I'm going to introduce my top 10 list of cool but common birds anyone can find in urban parks, for example. And even if you can only come to South Korea during a long layover and have just a day or two to dip your toes into Korean birding. All right, and with that, let's wrap it up. Remember to click that like button and subscribe if you haven't already done so. So you'll see when I upload more videos, either on Korean birding or ID tips or other world travel birding videos. Thank you for watching. See you next time.